Kimberly, and we have Rosemarie, and we're continuing our study of the Leonardo da Vinci. How do you think like Leonardo da Vinci? 7 steps to genius every day.
And we're in the corporolita section. So we were talking about some of the activities that we did to discover and explore our bodies and our human physical potential. So Rose, one of the things we did is draw a picture of our body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
And we looked in the mirror and we saw how our head sat on our shoulders, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how, so many times when you see, especially young people drawing, they forget to draw the neck, right? But the neck's pretty important, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We explored the interconnectedness of how our head sits on our shoulders. I encourage you, stand in front of a mirror. Don't be too critical of yourself. We tend to do that, right? Especially women. And but see, does one shoulder slump to one side versus another? Are your hips equal? Start paying attention to your posture and how you are. Your head balance, your shoulder joints, the hip joints, all of those things. Now, you can refine your body a bit further by studying and thinking about your spine and your movement. And, it was kind of funny. We had one of the activities, we put down how much we thought our head weighs next to the picture. What did we think our head weighed? Like
5 pounds?
Like 5 pounds. And the average human head, let's see if I can find it here, is actually about 15
pounds. Yeah.
So 15 pounds, this noggin up here. So yeah, I was even off. I guessed around 5-6 pounds would be what your head is, but nope, it's average 15 pounds. Now, one thing that we had fun doing is discovering our movement, right? What did we do?
Well, we put a towel or a blanket on the ground, and we started out in like we just laid down, and then we started to what is it called?
Move like a snake. Right?
Yeah, move like a snake, slither.
With no hands.
And we sort of morphed into a tiger, and
well, first we just put our hands down. We just moved around that way, right? Tried to see what it would like to get to food without any real hands.
Without any hands.
Then we did the tiger, right?
Yeah.
And then we morphed into a chimpanzee, orangutan, kind of primate, right, type animal, and then stood fully upright. And it's kind of interesting to feel the differences in your spine as you're doing the different activities along that little journey or path, if you will.
I think they still do that in art class, too. I think I remember doing that in actually drama when I was in high school, actually. And
another thing we explored, we won't get into a lot of that here, but the Alexander technique that they still teach in art schools, or, music, singing, and drama type schools today. But it actually talks about actually physically thinking about the muscles that you're using, or it's a good thing to do, especially in anything that you're doing. When you feel stress or tension, what muscles are tight? Those kind of things. Paying attention to your body at different points throughout the day. When you're tired, what is your body doing? Those kind of things, really paying attention to that. Another thing we talked about was fostering the balanced resting state, which we've incorporated somewhat into our meditation time each day. Being able to, just have your body in the right positions at different times. Now, it's kind of interesting. If you go to a mall or a fair like we were recently, right, you can see as different families walk along the patterns in their posture and their. Yeah. So as a parent, the suggestion it makes is making sure you yourself foster good posture, and so that you can pass that through on down to your children. And finally, one of the main things that we did in the activities was learning to be ambidextrous. Well, what does ambidextrous mean?
Be able to use both hands to either write or
So we typically have a dominant hand, right? You're either right-handed or left-handed. So being ambidextrous means you learn to use your non-dominant hand. And what have you been doing to learn to use your non-dominant hand?
Well, we've been writing our affirmations with our left hand.
Well, except if you're Alexis, she uses
yeah.
because she's typically
the opposite, your non-dominant hand.
It was like 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah, we're doing other exercises with our non-dominant hand drawing, right? Right, and we'll have that to share here soon. You know, another thing you can practice that's a little bit more challenging if you're up to it is mirror writing. You know, writing backward, upside down type mirror images. And another suggestion is learning to juggle. So those are things that you can do to help balance both sides of your brain. So remember, when your brain is balanced, your body is balanced. When your body is balanced, your brain, you know, it all works. And
optimally.
And.
Exactly.
So remember, when you wake up
unstoppable.